Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like to actually post 600 videos a day, which is I think about 18,000 videos a month for a single company using AI content, AI UGC, AI transformation videos, slideshows, and how somebody actually goes about doing that. So you've probably seen there's so many people on Twitter, myself included, talking about AI content and different models and end-to-end workflows and all of these different content automation systems that they've built or software companies that they use, but nobody actually goes and breaks down, okay, how do you actually post a massive amount of content, make sure that you don't get violations on all that content, and how do you actually get results with that. So I'm going to break literally everything down. I thought this video would be a good thing to film because we just brought on another brand where we're going to be actually posting 600 videos every single day for them specifically. And I have a lot of workflows that are currently getting set up. I'm setting up all of the accounts right now, creating all of the emails and the passwords and everything right directly through our platform, Mass Content. And then I'll show you what it looks like to begin setting up campaigns on Mass UGC, which is a desktop tool that we have to basically create fully edited AI UGC as well. So as you can see in front of me, I just wanted to show you what our workflows kind of look like in general. But before I break into all the workflows and how we create the content, the different models, I'll show you exactly how I go about setting all of these up, which again, I've only set up a few of these for this specific brand currently. We'll have literally hundreds in just a couple days here, but I want to go out and show you exactly what it looks like to begin setting up all of the accounts. So this is what masscontent.ai actually looks like. Right now I'm on an organization plan for this brand. But if you go to the Unlimited Accounts tab, this is where you can create something called an email alias. Literally, you can create hundreds of them. If you haven't used that before, or if you haven't even tried to post mass content before, it is the biggest headache to actually get your accounts created and your account set up, warmed up, everything like that. So instead of going and creating 100 different Outlook or 100 different Gmail accounts or doing all these different things, instead this allows you to just create all of your emails and kind of get them in this spreadsheet style UI here. So let me go to the TikTok tab. I'm just setting these up right now. We're going to have about 50 of them total. We have all of these accounts created. We have all the passwords, all the emails, and literally it's as simple as connecting one of your domains, whether you use GoDaddy, whatever, through the DNS, then going to this button, and then you want to select, however many accounts you want, which platform you want them to be on, and then the domain. So we'll do this, and then where you want all the emails to actually forward to. So you can use your inbox or a burner account, whatever you want to do, you forward those, and then you can create, auto-generate the passwords as well. So you can set up a lot of accounts very, very quickly. It takes literally 10 seconds to load. So already did that. Right now in total, we're going to have 100 accounts. We have all of the accounts, but we still got to get a few linked here. Essentially, once you create the actual alias, you just click this link button. So whether it's TikTok or Instagram, you get a link to actually, connect that to Mass Content. So then in your dashboard, you'll be able to see all of the actual data, right? So how many posts, impressions, followers, likes, comments, everything that you're getting, how much content you're creating, whatever. And then also in here, we have tracking links. So we can set up these tracking links to track pixels on Shopify, Amazon, all of the different platforms that you could sell on, and then also track the clicks, conversions, everything like that. So that's kind of what this process actually looks like. It's the first step that obviously we do because it definitely takes a bit of time to go and set up 100 different accounts on TikTok, 100 different accounts on Instagram, get those fully warmed up and everything like that. But that's kind of what that scenario looks like. It makes it very, very simple that it's all in one platform. And I mean, just genuinely, there's other platforms that do something similar, but usually you have to get, a different alias tool, and then a different tool that's going to connect all the accounts to see all the data. They don't generate your passwords and everything like that. And it just becomes a huge, big spreadsheet headache. So I needed this for our agency to actually even onboard a client that we're going to do 600 videos a day. So that's why it's been built, and that's why it's available to other people as well. So that's kind of what that looks like. I'm going to go to the Creative Studio again to show you kind of, again, what these workflows can do, show you how to set them up. in a light way. I'm not going to break into this. There's a ton of other videos of me talking about what all the nodes do and everything like that. But this one's a very, very simple workflow. Essentially, it's a skincare-based product. And it's meant to change the person. So you give it an example image, right? This is a media node with just a random person in it. And then also make a supplement image and then turn it into a 3-image slideshow. And then also get a video out of that as well. So a transformation video and transformation slideshow. Again, this is simple because it's just skincare, but I'll show you a couple other workflows as well. So we have a media node. You need to give this image generation node the image to change. So all we'd say here is change the person in this image to be a completely different person, random different hair, different random face, random outfit. Keep it as a female though. Fully randomize the person. Do not give me someone who looks the same, so I can continue to use this prompt over and over again. Change the type of car, change everything. I'd mentioned no AI slop, like backwards car seats, weird physics, everything like that. Then just your aspect ratios. The model that we're going to be using here is Nano Banana Pro. You can use Nano Banana, but I think Nano Banana Pro, you're able to get a much better prompt, and it just looks way more realistic. You can do 4K if you want, but I'm going to be turning these into videos, so I don't want a 4K image going into those nodes and just taking way too long. So that's kind of what that looks like. So it's going to be a fully different person, right, from this first node. And then the next node that's going to have that second image travel into, and that's what is here with the image from input node. I'm going to say keep the person the exact same, but give them a ton of cystic acne, right? Red splotches, bumps on their skin, their neck. Change the outfit fully as well, like the photo is taken on on a different day. This is not like insane prompt engineering. I'm not doing some big JSON prompt trying to make the most insane image ever. These models are so good at this point that you don't even have to do any of that. And since we're doing so much content, you're going to get great outputs. You're going to get mediocre outputs that aren't amazing, but they're still going to work for the grand purpose of posting 600 videos a day. So obviously there's a lot better prompt engineers out there that could go crazy and make sure it does the exact thing every single time. But for me, I'm okay with throwing away a few posts as long as we get the ones that we need for the daily posts. Again, we're going to do 2K image and then also a 9:16 as well. So then you're going to have that first image of the person. You're going to have them fully having cystic acne in a different day, different car, different place, basically looking terrible. So this will end up actually being the first image, and then this will be the second image where they're clean, looking good in their car, or obviously you can prompt them to be in a different setting or whatever. And then we want the actual supplement to be the third image because we want to have that CTA in there as well. So we have this supplement bottle, and then all we're going to say is literally keep the supplement bottle the exact same, make the photo taken in a different room, iPhone shot style, not too perfect, change the lighting, match the room. Very, very simple. Obviously, you could go crazy. You could have this node here, give it to here, and then you could have them holding the product. You could have, it'd be part of their meal. You could do literally anything. You could add another node in here, so you get another image. And then, obviously, we're just going to export those. So literally, we're just going to go to Google Drive. It gives us daily folders. Usually, this custom folder, I'll give it the name of who's actually going to be posting the content. So I guess that's kind of an important piece to talk about as well. With this specific brand, we could have done, phone emulators and work with our phone farm and do all of these different things. But we're really trying to push using people in the United States with iPhones posting all of the content through different parts of the US, mainly because I want to test different locations, actually having real people post the content. They're able to add songs and add things onto the images and add text and whatever. And they also know, these guys are marketers as well, so they know exactly what they're doing. We're just giving them all the content. So obviously, and if you've seen other videos of this too, we have auto post nodes and we have compiler nodes, so you can compile slideshows and everything like that and make sure that everything's put together correctly. But for this use case, we're literally going to be doing all USA people with iPhones that are going to be posting all the content. So it's a lot more simple. It's just give the name of the folder to the person that's going to be posting. So then we share the entire thing. They see their name, they get in the daily folder, they download all the content, and they can post it, right? Obviously, these people on proxies and VPNs as well. So next thing, This actual image is going to give you the third slideshow, and then it's going to go and be turned into a video. So make them move and spin the supplement bottle slightly in their hand like they're showing off the product as a product shot. Really slight camera zoom, but keep the camera stable as well. So very simple prompt. They'll just be moving the supplement bottle in their hand at the end of the video. Then the one where they're going to have acne. Make her movements kind of minimal, but make her look natural recording a video of herself. Make her head tilt multiple times. So again, super simple prompt. We can go a lot crazier on this, but there's really no need because I mean, all of these models now, 2.5 turbo with Kling, Nano Banana Pro, they're so good that you don't even really need to go crazy with the prompting. And realistically, that's usually just going to cause issues later on the line. So the next thing is when they're looking, more prettier, put together, whatever, exact same thing. So taking a video of herself, have her have a cute smile at the end. Very, very simple. Export. It'll go to the exact same folder. That exact same execution folder as the poster account. Obviously, you'd want a Google Drive connection here, and then to do daily folders, and then give it the same name here as well. So that's kind of what that process looks like. This is very, very, very simple node process and posting process, right? So the reason that our platform's even developed like this, if you have used N8N or even Make.com, any of these other automation builders, it is so complex to add all of your credentials and then go add all your API keys and then these code nodes and different scrapers and everything like that to make sure that you get the content that you want, be able to use all the different models. And when a new model comes out, you got to go update all your credentials and get a new API key and all these different things. It's so complex, and when AI is moving this quickly, that is a completely ridiculous process that people shouldn't have to do. Even me as a developer, like, I built this platform and I hate using N8N. Obviously, I do use it for some things, a lot of internal things on our agency and different processes and automations that obviously is not built specifically for content. But I really dislike the platform. I think it's way too complex, and that's why we built this process and kind of this system like this. It's also another interesting thing. I think most people at this point have used tools like Higgsfield or other just kind of content generation tools, like even just on Gemini, Nano Banana Pro. A lot of people have used that, but it's one by one, right? So you can use a bunch of different models on Higgsfield, but you got to go in there and you got to prompt every single time, and then you got to go and get the image, you download it, then put it maybe into CapCut or whatever. Then you got to throw it into Google Drive, and it's a humongous process to go and even make one slideshow video. You got to go and actually put these prompts in, upload the image every single time, and it just takes forever. So this is really meant to be an automation-based, ease of use N8N. And then also, in terms of all the models, it is a system very similar to N8N in the way of it is still bring your own key, but instead of adding a ton of credentials, literally all you do is you go here to integrations and you connect your Fall.ai API key. If you're a developer, you know what this is, but it's essentially a huge a tool where there's every single AI model you could possibly need to use in terms of content. You go in, you add your API key, and you can use every single model. It's one of the cheapest platforms out there as well. I've tested a ton of them. Some of them are slow, some of them are fast. This is the best one in terms of speed, quality, and ease of use. I mean, it's just go sign up with Google, grab your API key, and you're done. So you can use any model with that as well. So again, super easy workflow here. We have another one which is very simple as well. It's more of a kind of like unhealthy to healthy style. So this will be a media node of this girl, and then a supplement as well. And instead of it being kind of about acne or anything like that, it's more of just they're very unhealthy. Make this 9:16 picture, something she would post on Instagram carousel, so it'll make another image of her similar to this, but it'll be a different setting, whatever. And then the next note here is make a picture of this exact girl but sitting on the edge of her bed, looking kind of sad, oversized wrinkly sweatshirt, sweatpants, eating a bag of Cheetos. Make her look like her friend took a picture of her while she was sad. Really bad lighting, grainy, everything like that. No iPhone flash, whatever. And then add a Snapchat bar text heading. I don't know what that's actually called. but that says she's in her bag right now. Or you could say, say something like this, but don't say the exact same thing, so it's not the same in every video. Whatever you want to say, you're able to put it in there, but it's going to make her picture that she's just looking very sad, right? And I'll show you what the outputs of this actually looks like. And then the next thing is another node, exact girl in her dorm room bathroom taking a mirror selfie, oversized wrinkly clothes. Again, looking sad, but just this time in her bathroom. And then one more here, same exact girl wearing totally different outfit, workout style, making her in a Planet Fitness gym, taking a mirror selfie with athletic pose. Again, super simple. And then here, it's just supplement, make another image of this exact supplement bottle, different home setting, natural, taken on an iPhone camera, whatever, a woman holding a supplement bottle. Simple prompting again. So it's going to make an image of her sad, another image of her sad, an image of her in the gym, and then we have this original image of her that we can use again, or can generate another one, and then we have a picture of her probably looking more healthy here. Again, export, we'll just go Google Drive, daily folder, and then whoever's going to be posting this content, we put their name right in there. So we'll save that, and I'll show you what this actually is going to look like. I just ran this. Essentially, we have this original image, right? We have that supplement bottle in a completely new area, and then we have her looking very sad. Here, she's in her bag right now. This is my favorite image ever. I'd probably change the prompting, make sure that there's absolutely no image flash, make sure that she's actually sitting on her bed, maybe some acne or whatever as well. I didn't add that into the prompt yet. And then here, this one's a much better image in my opinion. She's super sad, wrinkly clothing, just like we said, hoodie, sweatpants, in her dorm bathroom. I could probably go, make the lighting a little bit worse as well. And then here, same girl, as this girl right here in a Planet Fitness athletic pose. I'd probably do a different athletic pose than the muscle here. And then actually this one is the new bottle of supplement. So this was the original one, and then here is the new bottle. So that's kind of what those outputs will actually look like. For us, we're gonna really test a ton of different styles. But these slideshows work extremely well, and especially when you're using Google Nano Banana Pro, you can prompt it to do randomized things, right? So you don't get the same thing every single time. That was never the case with basically any other image generation model. You're never able to say randomize this completely. It would just give you the same thing every time. Even if you said randomized completely, it would just keep giving it to you over and over and over again. But Nano Banana Pro does not do that, so super beneficial. Another thing that we could do here is just like we did with that other workflow with the Kling 2.5 turbo nodes, we could just turn all of these images into videos and export them again. So we'd get every single one of the images into a video, just have them move slightly or hit their athletic pose or whatever, or crying in the bathroom, whatever it needs to be. We get all of those videos and we can just compile them right in TikTok when we go to post the actual content. So you can get multiple pieces of content out of just one workflow and one run. In terms of this as well, usually what we're going to do is probably have each of these different workflows make 20 to 30 posts a day, so we can get to that 600, and we'll just test, right? We're just going to test as much as we possibly can, different demographics, different ages, different angles, obviously on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everything like that. Usually the older demographic does work quite a bit better when selling supplements, and these are just going to be pushed straight to Amazon. And it's fully organic, by the way, so we'll eventually get into TikTok Shop once the accounts start to do well. And the biggest benefit is we'll grow these accounts, right? These will be people that are structured as influencers. They had this glow up and they'll start to get followers really quickly. We'll start to add personality and different things into the actual accounts as well, so more people will follow. We even add in the caption every single time, follow me for more tips or whatever about the actual glow up or whatever happened. So you can do a lot with these workflows, and the best part, for us, is just we don't have to go into Higgsfield and hire 1,000 different VAs to go and make these videos every single time. I'll just run this 30 times, or I'll schedule it to run 30 times a day with this runner node, and then we'll get 30 new pieces of content every single day. It'll go directly to the poster, and they can post the content. So it's a pretty offhanded, we don't have a lot of management in terms of what actually gets done, and these humans are trained on what to actually put on the post as well. So we do have an automated video editor, or an AI video editor in here as well, that we can use. It's this node here. So when it's an actual video, you can put it in here and you can basically just prompt it, add before and after text, add a song in the background, add all these different things. You can do that, but for us, again, we're really trying to work on management of having human posters very, very trained on what's going viral, what's working. They're scrolling their For You page and figuring out what content's actually going to work, because since this is a client of ours, we of course get paid on results, so we want to make sure that we generate them results, of course. So that's kind of what this process looks like. I want to also show you Mass UGC as well, because this is our desktop app. This has been around for a lot longer, and it's very, very, very focused on AI UGC. So I'm not going to break into this entire platform. I have, again, tons of videos where I talk about how to use this platform, but I just set up a simple campaign, and this is kind of what this would look like. So let me go turn this off so you can see this here. 1 second. So we're going to have this doctor on Joe Rogan. This is just going to be a random test. We have this guy. He looks like he's on Joe Rogan podcast. He's in a nurse or doctor outfit, whatever. And we're going to have him be this kind of misogynistic, rude guy who's talking about women being naive and not understanding their hormones. That's why they have acne. That's why they're overweight. That's why they have all these problems. Just another test. Again, we'll literally be throwing up hundreds of these campaigns with tons of different tests, but essentially what this is meant to do, it's fully going to automate different videos every single time, him saying different things, having different text, having different captions, having different hook clips and everything like that. So at the start, you saw this video here, this hook clip. So we have this news anchor where this person could say, and we're going to use kind of the hook, doctor exposes what most husbands never even notice. It's been going viral for us on Instagram for a long time, so we're going to try it again here. But it's going to say this, have this kind of news anchor saying, you wouldn't believe what husbands never even notice about their wives, or any of these different things. It's going to randomize, it's going to lip sync her every single time, and change kind of exactly what she's saying. And then after that, hook clip plays, then it'll play this video of this doctor. We'll have certain hooks like, most women are so naive about their hormones. That's why you see so much acne, red, blemishing skin, things like that. And it's not going to use this hook every single time. I gave it, so we'll give it different, test scripts as well. But basically these are just an example scripts. So when it's giving it to the AI, it'll use all the training and everything that we already have on, TikTok content and podcast content and everything like that to make a better script. To change the script, to randomize it, make it different, test different angles, everything like that. But we want the hook to be something similar to this, just so it's kind of that rude male doctor style. And then people will think, oh, it's on Joe Rogan. Why is this rude dude on Joe Rogan? And then obviously that hook clip from that news anchor will hook them in as well. So obviously we can have text, we can have multiple texts, we can randomize and AI generate the text. There's a lot that you can do with this, but literally all you do is you'd update the campaign, and then you'd run this. You can run it 10x, and it's going to give you 10 fully different videos of them saying different things. It's going to lip sync the avatar. You can also just throw a bunch, kind of a bulk amount of avatars in there. So there's things, in here where you can group the actual avatars. So you can just throw in an avatar group, and then you can go use, all of your avatars. I still have to throw a ton of different avatars into this actual project, but the goal here is mass testing, mass kind of randomizing what's actually being said, figuring out what works, and then we structure all of our campaigns for what works, and then we post hundreds of videos based on that. So that's kind of, and again, this is the exact same thing. This is going to send directly to Google Drive in daily folders for all of the posters, and then they're just going to post the content. And that's kind of the entire process. I mean, obviously there's a lot more in detail of what all the nodes do and how they remove metadata and make sure that we don't get violations. Here in Mass UGC, we also have a randomization feature where it kind of randomizes the video and shakes it up a little bit. Like it actually adds shake, adds a little bit of noise randomly to the video to make sure that the videos don't always look the same, so TikTok doesn't flag anything. But that's kind of our process. That's a very, very basic overview of everything. But that's kind of how we're going to be posting 600 videos a day for this specific brand. And obviously there's probably tons of other questions on how to do this. That's why we jump on calls with people literally every single day, explain the process. That's why we have an agency on the back end of our software companies. When people just ask us, hey, can you just actually post all the content for us? Can you create it, post it, and do kind of that entire scenario? Yes, we do that, but we also sell the software to do that as well. So that's kind of how this whole process works. Hope you enjoyed the video. If there's any questions, again, DM me on Twitter, DM me on Instagram. But yeah, and also on YouTube, there's a ton of other videos with content similar to this. But either way, I appreciate watching the video.